They told you awakening would be beautiful, that it would bring peace, clarity, light, and sometimes it does. But they never told you about this part, the part where your body starts speaking in strange ways, where you wake up in the middle of the night for no reason, where sounds feel sharper, light feels heavier, and your heart beats in rhythms you don't recognize. You think you're sick. You think something's wrong. But what's really happening is that your soul is changing the way you live inside your body. Most people miss the signs. They dismiss the fatigue, the chills, the aches that come and go without warning. But if you felt them, if you've been wondering why your body feels like it's becoming someone else's, you're not broken, you're not failing, you're waking up from the inside out. And in this video, we're going to walk through each of those hidden signs, the symptoms no one warns you about, but that quietly mark the beginning of a deeper journey. Because once you recognize them, you'll never see your body or your awakening the same way again. Most people think heaviness comes from stress, from work, from problems they can point to. But sometimes it begins with something deeper, a strange weight on your shoulders that no massage, no rest, no explanation can remove. It's not in your mind. It's not even in your muscles. It's in the space between your body and your soul, where unspoken truths have been quietly waiting, memories you've buried, feelings you never voiced, parts of you that learned to stay silent, but never stopped breathing. They don't disappear. They linger until the day the soul decides you're ready to feel them. And when that day comes, the weight begins to press down. Slow, gentle, but persistent. Some days it feels like gravity has doubled. Other days it's just a whisper, a quiet nudge saying, "Look closer." This isn't punishment. It's not even a problem to fix. It's a signal, a sign that your soul is rearranging itself, shifting your center of gravity, calling you to stand differently in the world. You might notice your posture change, your shoulders curling in, protecting something sacred, or being pulled back, as if the universe is opening your chest, so your heart can finally breathe. The body knows. It always knows. And before the mind can name it, the body speaks through tension, through aches, through stillness. It's not asking for medicine. It's asking for attention. And the question is, are you willing to listen? Because this invisible weight isn't here to hold you down. It's here to awaken you, to guide you back to the truth your soul has been carrying all along. One day, you're sitting in stillness, and suddenly a wave of heat rises through your body. No warning, no reason, just fire moving under your skin. Another day, you're wrapped in warmth, and out of nowhere, a chill runs through you. Like the air in the room shifted, but no one else seems to notice. This isn't random. It's not just your body. It's your energy field, recalibrating. When the soul begins to awaken, your physical body has to adjust. Every cell, every nerve is learning to hold a different frequency. And just like metal expands with heat and contracts with cold, your body moves through cycles of expansion and contraction. Heat ignites release, cold anchors the new space, It can feel strange, uncomfortable, even alarming if you don't know what's happening. But if you pause and breathe, you'll notice something else. The heat often comes when you're shedding something heavy. A belief, a memory, a layer of fear. It's your soul burning away the old. The cold comes after cooling the system, grounding you, reminding you that the change is real. These waves don't ask for control. They ask for surrender, to let the body do what it knows how to do. Adjust, align, awaken. And the more you trust them, the more you'll see they're not random events. They're whispers from the soul, carried through temperature, reminding you that transformation is already happening. At first, you think it's just your imagination. A skipped beat here, a faster rhythm there. Maybe it's caffeine, maybe it's stress. That's what the mind says. But the soul knows. The heart is more than a muscle. It's a compass. And when the soul changes direction, the compass adjusts. Sometimes it races, not from fear, but from recognition, from sensing something approaching before your eyes can see it. Other times, it slows, as if holding its breath, waiting for you to notice the stillness. These changes can happen in meditation, in silence, or in the middle of an ordinary day, standing in line at the store, watching sunlight move across the floor. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's so subtle, you almost miss it. But when you catch it, you realize the heart isn't just responding to your body, it's responding to your becoming. When you release an old truth, the heart feels lighter. When you resist what the soul is asking, the heart tightens as if bracing for impact. You can learn to read these signals, to pause when the rhythm shifts, to listen not for danger, but for direction, because the heart doesn't lie. It doesn't speak in language, but in pulse. And every change in that pulse is the soul's way of saying, this moment matters. Pay attention. It's not always comfortable. Awakening rarely is. But each beat, fast, slow, uneven, is part of a new song being written inside you. And when you finally learn its rhythm, you'll realize it's not the world that's changed. It's the way your soul moves through it. You wake up tired. Even after a full night's sleep, your body feels heavy, your thoughts slower, like you're moving through water. You try to explain it. Maybe you worked too much. Maybe you need more vitamins. Maybe it's just one of those weeks. But deep down, you know it's not that. This is the kind of fatigue that doesn't come from doing too much. It comes from becoming too much. When the soul is awakening, it asks the body to release years, sometimes decades, of emotional weight. Patterns you've carried like second skin, stories you've lived inside for so long. You forgot they weren't you. And releasing all of that takes energy. Not the kind of energy you measure in calories, the kind you measure in lifetimes. It's like renovating a house while still living in it. Walls are being taken down, foundations inspected, rooms rebuilt, all while you're trying to cook breakfast and answer the phone. No wonder you're tired. But here's the truth most people miss. This fatigue is not weakness. It's integration. Your body is catching up to the shifts your soul has already made. So instead of pushing harder, what if you surrendered to it? Let yourself nap in the middle of the day. Let the dishes wait. Let the world spin without your constant effort to keep up. Because in that stillness, your system resets. Your cells align to a new frequency. Your nervous system learns it's safe to live without the constant weight of old stories. You might feel guilty for resting. The world teaches us that rest is earned, but the soul knows. Rest is sacred, and sometimes the deepest spiritual work you can do is to lie down, close your eyes, and let the body become the temple where transformation happens in silence. One morning, you wake up starving, hunger so deep it feels like it's coming from somewhere beyond your stomach. You eat more than usual, and still you want more. Then another day comes, and nothing appeals to you. Not your favorite meal, not even the smell of food you once loved. At first, it's confusing. You wonder if something's wrong with your health. You check your habits, your schedule, your stress levels. But what's shifting is deeper than diet. It's the soul, reorganizing your relationship with nourishment. Because when you awaken, you begin to crave what truly feeds you and reject what doesn't. Sometimes that means your body asks for grounding foods. Dense, rich, earthy. Other times it wants lightness. Fruits, fresh greens, water that feels alive. But this isn't just about physical food. It's about energy. When your soul is integrating change, you may crave meals that connect you to the earth. Root vegetables, warm grains, slow-cooked stews. They remind the body that it's safe to be here. When you're expanding into a higher state, you might suddenly lose the desire for heavy or processed foods. Your body becomes more sensitive, more selective, almost as if it can sense the vibration of what you put inside it. And here's what's important. It's not about following a spiritual diet. It's about listening to what your body asks for. Without judgment, without trying to control it with rules or trends. Because the truth is, awakening changes your appetite for everything, not just food, but experiences, conversations, relationships. You start to hunger for silence, for truth, for moments that feed the soul instead of draining it. So the next time your appetite shifts unexpectedly, don't fight it. Don't overanalyze it. Just pause and ask, what is my soul hungry for right now? The answer may surprise you, and if you follow it, it will feed more than just your body. One day you notice the music you used to love feels loud. The street you've walked 100 times feels overwhelming. Even the brightness of the morning sun seems sharper, as if every ray carries a weight you can't ignore. It's not that the world has changed. It's that your perception has. When the soul awakens, the senses recalibrate. You start picking up subtleties you used to miss. The faint hum of electronics, the tension in someone's voice, the heaviness in a crowded room. And while it can feel uncomfortable at first, this sensitivity is a gift. It's your body's way of telling you what aligns and what doesn't, which spaces nourish your spirit, and which drain it. Some people will say you're too sensitive, but the truth is, you're finally sensitive enough to hear your inner voice clearly. You might find yourself seeking more silence, turning down the volume on everything. Not just the noise outside, but the noise within. Light shifts, too. Colors feel deeper. Shadows feel more alive. Sometimes the brightness is almost too much. Other times, it's exactly what you need to feel awake. This is the soul training you to navigate the world with awareness. There, to choose environments, relationships, and habits that match your true frequency. And if you've been feeling this, if this message resonates with your inner journey, you may be ready to go deeper. I've created a 19-day journal called The 19-Day Awakening. It's not just pages, it's a sacred space for reflection, healing, and inner transformation. You'll find it in the first pinned comment below. When the time is right. Because once you learn to honor your sensitivity, it stops feeling like a burden. It becomes your compass, your guide, your proof that the soul is paying attention. It starts as a faint buzz, a tingling in your hands, your feet, maybe the crown of your head. At first you think it's circulation. You shake it off, you move around, but the sensation lingers. Then it begins to appear in moments of stillness. When you're meditating, when you're about to fall asleep, or even in the middle of a deep conversation. This is the language of energy, the soul, speaking through sensation. Formigamentos, vibrations. They're signals that your system is processing more light, more awareness, more truth than before. It's the current of life moving through you, without the old blockages in its way. Sometimes it feels warm, sometimes it's electric, sometimes it's so subtle that you almost miss it, until it spreads and your whole body feels alive from the inside out. It's not random. It often comes right after a shift, a release of old emotion, a breakthrough in awareness, a moment where you finally stop resisting. In those moments, energy that's been stuck for years finally moves. And yes, it can be intense. Sometimes you'll feel it in waves. Sometimes it'll pulse like a heartbeat beneath your skin. But if you breathe into it, you'll realize it's not here to overwhelm you. It's here to remind you you're not just a body, you're a field, a conduit for something greater. So the next time your hands buzz or your spine tingles, don't rush to fix it. Close your eyes, let it move, because this is the soul's way of telling you, I'm here, and I'm moving through you. You wake up, and your neck is tight. Your shoulders ache. There's a heaviness in your lower back. You try to remember if you slept wrong, or carried something heavy the day before, but there's no clear reason. This is the body speaking in a language most people ignore, a language the soul uses when words won't do. When old emotions, memories, and patterns begin to rise, they don't just float in the mind, they press into the body. The jaw that aches from holding back words, the chest that tightens when a truth is avoided, the lower back that carries unspoken fear. These tensions and aches aren't random. They're messages. Sometimes they're asking for attention. Other times, for release. And almost always, they're telling you there's something the mind has been avoiding. Modern culture teaches us to numb pain quickly. Pills, distractions, endless productivity. But the soul asks for something different. To pause, to breathe into the discomfort, to ask the body, what are you holding for me? Because pain held in the body is rarely just physical. It's emotional weight that's been stored, sometimes for years. And when you're awakening, that weight starts to surface. Not to punish you, but to free you. You may notice that when you finally express a truth, your shoulders loosen. When you forgive, your chest expands. When you stop pretending to be okay, your jaw softens. Every release in the soul has a mirror in the body. So the next time pain arrives without a reason, before you silence it, listen. It may be the oldest part of you, finally asking to be seen. It's 3:17 a.m. The world is asleep, but you're wide awake. You've tried everything. Reading, meditating, slowing your breath. But the body refuses to drop back into sleep. Or maybe it's the opposite. You find yourself sleeping longer than usual. Your dreams are vivid, layered, and when you wake, it's as if you've been somewhere else entirely. Awakening changes the rhythm of your rest, because sleep isn't just a physical recharge. It's a doorway, a space where the conscious mind steps aside, and the soul can do its deepest work. Sometimes it wakes you in the middle of the night, not to punish you, but because the silence then is different. There's less noise from the world, less static from the collective. It's easier to hear what's been waiting to reach you. Other times, it pulls you into deeper sleep than you've had in years, because your system needs more time to integrate what you're learning in waking life. You might notice patterns. Waking at the same time each night, dreams that feel more like messages than random images, or a sense that you've been in conversation with someone, but can't quite remember the words. This stage can be frustrating if you resist it. We're conditioned to keep a perfect sleep schedule, to control every cycle. But the soul's timing doesn't follow the clock. Instead of fighting it, try welcoming it. Keep a journal by your bed. Notice what's on your mind when you wake at night. Notice how you feel after those long, deep sleeps. Because every change in your sleep pattern is a signal that something in you is shifting. Your inner world is adjusting. Your soul is working, even while your body rests. And if you let it, those quiet hours, those vivid dreams, will become some of the most sacred spaces in your journey. At some point, you begin to see it differently. The aches, the shifts, the strange rhythms of heat, cold, and stillness. They stop feeling random. They stop feeling like problems to solve. You realize your body has been under renovation, not from the outside, but from the deepest chambers of your soul. Every symptom was a wall being taken down. Every ache was a foundation being inspected. Every restless night, a room being rebuilt. And like any sacred restoration, it's not always pretty. It's not always quick. There's dust. There's noise. There's the discomfort of living inside something that's changing all around you. But the soul doesn't rush this process. It knows that a temple rebuilt too fast won't stand in the storms. So it works slowly, patiently, layer by layer, replacing fear with trust, replacing noise with silence, replacing self-neglect with reverence, until one day you catch your reflection, not in the mirror, but in the way you moved, the way you breathe, the way you hold yourself in the world, and you realize something has shifted. You're no longer just living in this body. You're living with it, as a partner, as a caretaker, as someone who finally understands that this is the only home your soul will have in this lifetime. And when you see it that way, The way you treat it changes. You choose what you allow in. You honor its limits. You listen, even to the whispers, because now you know every signal, every change, every sensation isn't here to harm you. It's here to guide you, and in that moment, you understand the truth you've been building toward all along. This body, this temple, was never breaking down. It was waking up. Now you know, awakening doesn't just happen in the mind. It happens in the pulse, in the breath, in the quiet shifts your body makes. When your soul takes the lead, every ache, every strange rhythm, every sleepless night, none of it was random. It was your soul's handwriting, etched into your biology. The question now is, will you honor it? Will you listen when your body whispers? Will you trust the signs instead of rushing to silence them? Because awakening isn't about chasing light. It's about letting that light rebuild you, cell by cell, breath by breath. So, pay attention. Notice the subtle changes. Write them down. Let them teach you. And when you do, share your truth here. Tell me in the comments what you've been feeling, what's been breaking, what's been shifting. If these words resonated with you, subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay close. Because this isn't the end of your journey, it's the doorway, and beyond it is the version of you you were always meant to meet.